Hey guys, want to make a new video going over the two biggest winners in the patch notes. So obviously people have been doing path of building for the past few days, figuring out, hey, what's the best build? And after like looking at other streamers and look what I've been doing, I do think the biggest winner is Lightning Strike, and I have a few reasons why. So the first reason why Lightning Strike is probably one of the biggest winners from this melee, I guess, reworked buff, whatever you want to call it, is that every melee skill was buffed to compensate for its totem loss, but Lightning Strike already struggled to use totems. You couldn't really get any totem masteries, you couldn't use Ancestral War Chief, you only use Ancestral Protector, which was just 20% attack speed, and that's it, right? So every skill was buffed for not having totems, but LS really didn't even use totems in the first place, so it got the same buff as every other melee skill, like double the damage, right? 225% to 456%, but it really didn't use totems in the first place anyway, so it just got like a massive buff for essentially free. Second reason is every single melee skill and every war cry massively got increased in mana cost by a lot. Now Lightning Strike also did get increased, it's 10 mana instead of 6, but it actually doesn't really matter all that much. Your setup is still the same. The mana cost increase wasn't a big change at all for this type of build. You still have the exact same gem setup and the exact same gear. While other melee skills, I know Karn, for example, was doing some POB on slams, his mana costs are extremely high now, and it's pretty hard to solve. While Lightning Strike, yeah, it's exactly the same. So here's a POB I made of Lightning Strike real quick. I'm not going to post this down below because it's like custom config and all that, because Warden Ascendancy is not in here. I just want to show an example of like how strong the skill is going to be. Now I do plan on making a build guide for this build in the next few days, hopefully when POB is also fully updated. But yeah, you see the skill's 25 million DPS. It also has a double hit property, and it's also not counting Val Lightning Strike. So this is a lot and a lot of damage. And this is my claw. It's I think it's like tier 2, tier 1 with crit and attack speed. It also has more crit on the claw than usual because claws got buffed this league. So I just put in more crit to compensate for the buff that I received. So it's crafted crit and I think tier 3 attack speed on this claw. So yeah, it's a pretty modest claw. It's probably like a 10 to 15 divine claw probably first week or something. And then everything else is just regular gear. You'll see like nothing here is special or expensive. It's life res, whatever. Lead and coil. These claws are pretty good. But obviously these claws aren't giving you the insane amount of damage. It's just mostly for the defense. And then yeah, everything else, nothing here is special. Just crit multi, flat damage. This is just wet on the ring for damage. Yeah. So the damage is absolutely insane with the gear really being really modest, and you can scale this skill to absolutely insane levels this league as the buff was just absolutely massive. And this is also Lightning Strike of Arcane, keep that in mind. Lightning Strike, the original gem, actually got buffed more. So Lightning Strike of Arcane is only 377%, while the regular one is 456%, being 20% more damage than Lightning Strike of Arcane. Yeah, and no awakened gems either. This regular standard setup. So yeah, this skill is absolutely insane. I do think it's the biggest winner from the patch notes by far, because it got buffed way more than it should have, because it really didn't use totems in the first place, and also didn't even use Ancestral War Chief, which was the big melee totem that every other melee build did use, and the Val version of that totem as well, right? So yeah, this skill is probably going to be one of the most played skills this league, I believe, especially since I know a few people are starting it. I'm probably starting it myself. Yeah, the second biggest one of the patch notes is definitely the Horn Scarab of Glitterin. So I just want to mention this real quick because Quant is out of the game. Horn Scarab of Glitterin is still a way to get Quant on your character. I think I mentioned this in my original recap video from the first day. But yeah, this is player Quant. So this 100% Quant is player Quant. So it gets the same effect as if you're wearing Sedemas, Gold Worms, etc. Right? So for every high-end strategy, you're going to be using Horn Scarab Glitterin, which is also going to make the scarab very expensive. Hopefully not as expensive as Curation, but even last league, this scarab was like 1 divine at times, 1 to 2 divines, and not everyone even used it. This league, every single person doing a high-end strategy is going to use this scarab, so it would not surprise me if this ends up costing like 3 or 4 divines, which is still going to price people out of the high-end strategies. Because yeah, I mean, it's way too powerful not to use. 100% player Quant, I believe, is around 48% more items dropped, as Quant has heavy diminishing returns. But yeah, 48% more items drop. Yeah, you're 100% going to use that in a single Scarab slot. Nothing's going to beat that. So anyway, that's the video. I just want to make a short video. I think you should really keep your eyes on Lightning Strike. Another strong strike skill would be Frost Blades as well, but Lightning Strike is just stronger mechanically as it has a double hit component, and it's really easy to use with Nimis, while Frost Blade, if you want to use with return projectiles, you need projectile speed, a little bit harder to use it with. And it's also got a bigger buff than Frost Blades as well. So yeah, Lightning Strike should be very meta this league. A lot of people are going to be playing melee, and I don't think, even though slams and everything else got buffed, yeah, Lightning Strike definitely seems like the biggest winner.